East Palestine, Ohio was once a prosperous town with a thriving industrial base, including steel mills, manufacturing plants, and small businesses. However, over the past few decades, the town has experienced a rapid decline, with high unemployment rates, poverty, and a lack of opportunities. This video will explore how corporate greed contributed to the decline of East Palestine, focusing on the closure of major employers in the area, the outsourcing of jobs overseas, and the impact of this on the community. Background. To understand the decline of East Palestine, it is important to understand its history. The town was founded in the late 1800s and grew rapidly in the early 20th century due to the presence of steel mills and other manufacturing plants. However, with the rise of globalization and the outsourcing of jobs overseas, many of these industries began to decline. Closure of major employers. One of the major factors contributing to the decline of East Palestine was the closure of major employers in the area. The steel mill that had been the backbone of the town's economy for decades closed in the early 1980s, leaving thousands of people without jobs. Other manufacturing plants and small businesses also closed, leaving the town with a dwindling tax base and few employment opportunities. Outsourcing of jobs. Another major factor contributing to the decline of East Palestine was the outsourcing of jobs overseas. Many of the manufacturing plants that had once employed thousands of people in the town began to move their operations overseas, where labor was cheaper. This left many people in East Palestine without jobs, and the few jobs that were available paid low wages and offered little job security. Impact on the community. The impact of these closures and outsourcing of jobs was devastating for the community of East Palestine. Unemployment rates skyrocketed, and many people were forced to leave the town in search of employment elsewhere. This resulted in a declining population, which further exacerbated the town's economic problems. Corporate greed. At the heart of the decline of East Palestine was corporate greed. Many of the companies that had once employed people in the town were more concerned with maximizing profits than with supporting the communities where they operated. They were willing to close factories and move operations overseas if it meant saving money, even if it meant devastating entire towns and communities in the process. While corporate greed played a significant role in the decline of East Palestine, the government also bears some responsibility. Policies that favored globalization and the outsourcing of jobs overseas, as well as tax policies that favored corporations over individuals, contributed to the decline of East Palestine and other communities like it. Conclusion. Decline of East Palestine serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact of corporate greed on local communities. The closure of major employers, the outsourcing of jobs overseas, and the lack of support from government have all contributed to the decline of this once prosperous town. It is important for us to recognize the role that corporate greed plays in the decline of our communities and to hold corporations accountable for their actions. Only by doing so can we hope to create a more just and equitable society, where the needs of local communities are prioritized over the profits of multinational corporations.